qualify from that was just remarkable.
He actually qualified first in his group as well. On top of that, it's absolutely insane. We've got a quick little champion pick here as we get into the match between these two. astroboy looking at a Sash. We are going to Blood Covenant, getting the Doom Slayer as well. Suspecting Nyx, although I would
Anarchy, I would say.
Well,
I got a Slash.
A
Maybe
or
not.
B.
Maybe. I think he's weighing up between...
Spart1e's often an Anarchy and Nyx as well, to be honest, on this side. But astroboy has actually had some good results. He came and got to the playoff brackets at QuakeCon.
He did.
And most successful Australian by far at the moment in duel.
We saw him yesterday in the first match, and he was extremely versatile.
Almost
a lot of experience, obviously, Dan the King from the Quake days. And
or Horse Doodoo in the Quake qualifiers.
Don't ever bring that name up ever again.
I'm just telling the truth here. This is his own fault.
So he has a strong, sound understanding of the fundamentals, and Yannick comes out as expected because it suits his style. When he's on top, he loves to play super fast, very aggressive in your face and slash, and Yannick obviously complement that well. And Doom is an excellent middle ground champion that can do the best of both worlds. Obviously the flavor of the month as well.
No, exactly. I'd love to see astroboy going through, to be honest. I think it would be a great story for someone outside of the sort of European or NA continent to be getting there, but it's whether I actually think that the actual talent, the actual gift is in the hands of the holder, astroboy in this instance.
Think looking at the bracket as it is, although Spart1e, I mean, and you never know what you're going to get from Spart1e, that's the problem. So I would definitely favor astroboy. If he was going to get through, he's got the best shot as he would ever do today. Spart1e, yes, he's supremely versatile, but he did beat the Hang 2-0 this morning as well. This morning to get through in this position.
True.
And he looks strong in those games.
He's been doing crazy comebacks on top of that. I mean, maybe not in the 2-0, but within the map itself, he's often been 2-0 down in rounds and making these crazy comebacks. He did that versus Evil, I believe, on the actual the BYOC game. I think he did it in the game before, which could have been versus... oh no, it would have been on the winner bracket game. So he's just been really, really focused. And he's always been a player in Quake Live, I feel. He does so well in groups. Right at the beginning of the tournament, he's super strong. And then you get into day 2 and it's like, But he's already had a good start to day 2.
He must have found his bed, according to DDK. I have no idea what DDK was talking about.
Yeah, he was up playing games really late yesterday. A lot of the players were finishing off their qualifier matches. I imagine that he was, dreaming of Quake with the amount of games that everyone was playing yesterday. So should be a very interesting one to see. I suspect Blood Covenant. I expect that to be a Spart1e map.
Favorite weapon is Shast.
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 I don't know if that's
the white cousin
Swedish.
of Shaft.
I don't know if it is going to be a map that he can definitely secure at the beginning, just because I feel like that comeback mechanism will come back.
I think, Blood Covenant. I think it's Spart1e's pick.
Yeah,
I would assume so. I'm also.
I believe astroboy did well against Kill. That might have been the one.
astroboy won Blood Run, and speaking to Spart1e earlier, he hasn't won a single Blood Run all tournament. He's lost every single Blood Run.
And his game versus the Hang, he's like, I've got to win map 2, because if I play map 3, it's Blood Run. And he's always hated that map. It's just been his absolute curse. So if you're going against Spart1e, no matter who you are, you're going to hope that it's going to be Blood Run.
You would hope. I think we might see Blood. We don't obviously know what the maps are at the moment, but I would say Blood Run will probably be second. It would be astroboy's pick, and I would favour him on that. He looked supreme on that map against Kilson. Again, showing that versatility, but it was on the other maps that Kilson really took it to him and showed the difference in skill. And Spart1e is one of those players, as you said, he had these amazing comebacks, and it's because he has that capability to really think about the game when he's in it. So he might not go into it the best prepared, but he adapts throughout, and he has a number of different styles, going from super aggressive to super defensive. As long as he turns up, he also hits all of his shots, and that's incredibly scary. No, absolutely. We just had a quick repick getting ourselves into the game now, but is there any kind of surprises for you? Any memorable moments so far? I know we're barely halfway through the tournament, but... It seems like we've been here forever already. It was such a packed day yesterday. I mean, obviously, from what I've seen backstage, there's been so many big names going out. Obviously, Claw's going out, the champion. For me, that is a little bit of a surprise. I didn't expect him to win the tournament, but to go out that early is huge. Evil, Garpy, and the BYOC didn't get through. I think Agent was a big surprise, actually. Yeah. Yeah, although he didn't qualify, when we saw him on stream, he looked pretty exceptional. And
yeah.
I've only ever seen him on Russian lands, and it was never living up to the hype. So he was one of my stand-up points. There's been so much going on, actually.
I think a lot of people are like,
well, think about it all.
Exactly. He's like, Agent kind of had to have a good tournament, I think.
Tox as well.
Yeah,
smashing Cooler and just beasting it.
I was calling out a couple of people before because of the way I think they've been warming up towards the tournament, Razy and Claws being one of them. I'm sure I could go into much depth later on, but the music has signaled, guys, we are going to be moving into the first map between Spart1e and Astroboy here on Blood Covenant. Let's get this one going. Right off the beginning, we are going to be on Spart1e's point of view as he gets rail side. A nice couple of important weapons right off the bat. It is the Doomslayer next Anarchy.
Nice.
Versus Slash next Doomslayer.
Really nice. Should be a kill already. Perfect.
Wow.
Getting the rocket jump up to deny that before Slash had time to get back over there. Great play by Spart1e straight away.
We call him Starty.
He did start well, so why not?
Okay. Well, I mean, he's someone who likes to control the weapons a little bit, and when you get that rocket spawn straight on, and you've got the rail, you don't need to move away to the other side of the map.
Yeah, we've seen this before. This is such a precarious position, given the prominence of the rocket launcher in the current meta, that now Astroboy is in a very difficult position where he's almost going to have to forfeit the items to get that rocket launcher. And we've seen in the past people utilizing Nick's Ghost Walk. That's how important it is. And you can see Spart1e already creeping around, protecting that rocket launcher. And he's not going to move away. Astroboy hasn't got a rocket. He hasn't got a rail. And so it's definitely on him to take the initiative to try and get Spart1e away. But Spart1e's doing a great job in just using that double jump to get across both sides of the map. And now Astroboy has the opportunity to at least get the rail, which is a very important
That could
tool.
help him get the rocket, I guess. Spart1e's just guarding up that upper corridor. The heavy armor's going to be up in a moment. What would be perfect for Spart1e is if Astroboy goes to get the Mega and he gets the armor at the same time, but that's not been the case at the moment. He needs to get a little bit of damage to maybe push him away. That rail's big from Astroboy. Yeah. He's secured himself the rocket launcher.
Great play by Astroboy. Nice and patient. A lot of guys might have been frustrated and tried to force the issue, but recognizing the deficient position he was in and just played it out perfectly.
I think there's definitely a tier of dueler, and I'd probably put myself in it, where you kind of think that, oh, the weapons are such a basic component of the duel that you just walk around and get the weapons and then you fight. Yeah. But no, these players, the duelers well and truly started before then, and you can get punished so hard if you're just even remotely out of position.
Yeah, I mean, prior to this, picking up the lightning gun would have been equally as effective at getting the rocket launcher, because then you could have really bullied them at least away from the bridge. But given how effective the rockets are currently in the state of the game, you just can't live without them.
I remember all the lightning gun traps we used to see back at QuakeCon.
Yeah, exactly.
And Sorlag hiding down at LG, and a lot of deaths happening from that. We're getting a rail here from Spart1e. Astroboy, got to be careful now because there's a Mega to go versus, but neither of them are going to connect with any more rails for the moment. But it is Spart1e who looks significantly stronger, especially with the heavy coming up. Oh, that's good punishing rail. And one more would actually be great to get rid of some of the armor, but I don't think he can show his face anymore.
No, and Spart1e has plenty of time to get back over to this Mega Health and defend it if he wants to. And it looks like not Dan the King, so...
It's still taking time to get away from that.
Yeah, Astroboy recognizing that, moves away. I just don't like that name. Come on. Sounds like
There's nothing wrong with Dan the King.
Sounds like a 1999 arcade game.
Spart1e does find him down at the shotgun to secure one more frag here in this early round. And pretty straightforward, that one. Astroboy was just wandering around with practically no health whatsoever. And Spart1e just kind of suffocating him here on Blood Covenant.
That's exactly right. Spart1e's doing a perfect job of controlling that high ground, never really leaving that position, and so it's making life very difficult for Astroboy to actually do anything. Once again, he's in this position where he's waiting for Spart1e to move out so he can get this rocket launcher. Gets away unscathed, luckily.
Well, he's got some work to do in this minute and a half. If he'd like to see himself get a bit further in the round, one rail, that'll help. He's going to keep landing them. That's actually huge.
Nice.
Wow. Those 3 rails, the speed of which it landed, as Spart1e felt, well, I'm at least going to get heavy. Oh, I'm denied. So he's bought himself a great amount of time. Even though Spart1e's using their next, he can continue to pile on the pressure. So I hope Spart1e didn't feel for even a second that he was safe in this round. This is brilliant. This is going to be a tying frag. I don't know what Spart1e can do. The rocket is going to have to land. Although Astroboy is pretty weak, he wants to land this rail to finish it off. He knows exactly where he is. There's surely no way out. And he's managed to even heal up in the blood pool. The rail has got to land. The machine gun's taking him down.
somehow Spart1e weasels his way out and gets the heavy and could even get the mega, but instead, without the weaponry to do so, is not able to clean up the back end of the map.
All he had was the shotgun, and somehow he managed to survive that whole ordeal. Because you saw the Ghost Walk was used first by Spart1e, and then Astroboy can use it straight away. He obviously can chase them while invisible. What a
read.
What the hell? I don't know how Spart1e was under that much pressure. The Ghost Walk was used once again by Astroboy, and this time he's able to make it work. So Spart1e kind of let him come through the staircase.
Yeah, I think Spart1e was just waiting for some sound cues, being a little bit unsure where Astroboy was, and thought he could buy it out the game.
What are these rails from Astroboy at the moment? These are extraordinary shots that he's landing against fast-moving, fast-dodging Anarchy.
But while he was trying to hide, you still need to have weapons in case. What the?
It goes close range to the shotgun. Spart1e had to land that, even though I felt that Astroboy played a lot better in the second half of the game.
I agree.
Spart1e very nearly threw that one away. This was a brilliant frag, actually. There was a one rail even before that, and just as the armor was spawning.
For that aimbossing right there.
If Astroboy can keep landing rails like this.
This time Astroboy gets the better spawn, but Spart1e straight over to the rocket launcher.
Hello.
Nice.
I'll try to find him down at the lower armor. Although Astroboy won't walk right beneath his feet. Oh, good little rocket there. Oh, the drop. Was he meant to do that? Either way, Astroboy improvises, and the plasma trail is going to help him out thoroughly.
Little bit of randomness coming out, but going in the way of Astroboy this time, as he uses that speed to get across. Spart1e is lacking the necessary tools to defend himself. Perfect rockets from Astroboy. He does have enough time to get across, plenty of time, 15 seconds.
I think he's probably going to thank himself for that amazing miss jump. Although if it was planned, fair enough, but...
Well,
I think
claim it was planned.
You can have props for that. Oh, he's going to chase it up the bounce pad. This might be a little bit overzealous from Astroboy, but he is claiming the mega, and he can get straight back on the warpath.
Great slash play. Baiting the heavy, knowing that Spart1e's not going to make a presence after all that damage.
Oh, this is absolutely crushed. Dominant round there from Astroboy, tying up the round series.
Yeah.
That was, Spart1e just walked right into him all time.
Spart1e just presuming that the rocket launcher was free because the heavy was up. One of the actual slight problems with timing everything perfectly is you make sometimes a bit of a miscalculation, but Astroboy recognizing the situation perfectly. And
that was, you don't really get much more of a sort of classic trap as you do just at the end of that last round. Astroboy getting the rail early on. He has got the mobility to get himself the rocket if needed, but has got to be careful of the pressure that Spart1e's laying on that weapon.
Yeah, not having the rocket launcher was not as a bigger problem when you have the rail to work with, but is able to get it as Spart1e transitions across to the railgun.
A lot of health and armor sacrifice from Astroboy to get himself that weapon. Not sure he's going to be able to make a good rail as the punishment. Spart1e up to 100-100. And Mega is going to certainly help out the Australian. Spart1e waiting for some movement himself from Slash. Can hear him. Good little rocket trap going in for the punch, and it's actually worked out flawlessly. Astroboy did not know what was coming. We're just seeing kind of trap after trap from both players versus each other. They're always falling into each other's hands, so it's whoever's able to make that sort of better read based on what the next objective is.
Definitely, and this is one of the better duels we've seen this tournament in terms of they're both playing an excellent foundation for duel, preferring to play actually the slower game, and Spart1e limiting the way in which Astroboy wants to play with both Slash to try and pick up that pace.
A little missed rail there from Spart1e. We've got an aggressive push in from Astroboy. That's quite good. I don't think Spart1e was expecting such aggression. One punch comes in, he misses a first shot, and Spart1e's just able to clean house afterwards. It's going a little bit back and forth in this duel.
Now Spart1e's got opportunity to pick up the pace, seeing the Ghost Wall being pushed out. He shouldn't be really afraid of this. Still has the ability up as well. Does lack the lightning gun to go in close, but nice rails to finish off Astroboy in a very clean round.
Well, the biggest detail there is that he hit the rail just after the Mega was picked up, so he only needed one more shot, so it worked out brilliantly for him. We're seeing rounds going one way, then the other. If the pattern is going to continue, then Astroboy should get a relatively easy round here, round 4. But we will see. We're going to get Slash over on the Mega Health side. And going up versus Doomslayer, shouldn't be too upset with the lightning gun. Oof. Would like to see him maybe making a sort of an aggressive push that middle distance with that weapon. We haven't seen enough of it yet.
No, but it's a bit tough to do with Slash. He's not the greatest at taking those mid-range fights.
Hello. I don't think he realized he was going to come so close all of a sudden. And you've got to be so careful. If you get one step too close to Doomslayer, you can wave goodbye to your life. Great
nice
rockets here from Spart1e. Surely he's going to be able to clean this one up. There's only about 10 health remaining for astroboy, and he eventually finds the kill. But that was hard-fought battle.
Spart1e's rockets have been on point, as have his rails, to be fair. And both these players hitting some crazy shots. Just Spart1e pulling out, hitting the first shots more generally than astroboy. And we know how crucial they are in Quake Champions to always hit the first rocket.
Go for some vertical shots. Spart1e would like to get another clean sweep and not have anything more to sweat about in map 1. Astroboy not going to aggress directly onto the armor. There's it. He's got one more of the useful weapons.
Now, Astroboy needs to make a bigger presence on this mid-round. He's letting Spart1e take it far too easily. Yes, Spart1e is hitting slightly more of the shots, but Astroboy is forfeiting the positional advantage far, far too easily.
Oh.
Nice.
What are these rockets that Astroboy's been landing? If he had a railgun or something here, I mean, he tries to use the machine gun at long distance. He needs to try and close the gap at the moment. Spart1e's used Berserk. He's found him. Surely no way out for Spart1e. Need to get some of the long distance damage going.
He's got no rail, and Spart1e was moving too quickly for the lightning gun to have any real impact.
I hope he's recognized that there are no more rockets to go. He is focusing his attention on mega health, keeping that control all for himself. Heavy in 10. He's trying to check the outskirts. He might get surprised in a moment because Spart1e was behind. Unfortunately, he doesn't get punished.
Nice.
Brilliant shot. Spart1e just a little late to recognize that the push came to heavy straight away. And he's still very weak moving around the map. Astroboy now trying to set up a bit of a trap, but Spart1e's not going to fall for that one.
No, using the sound cues patiently to work out where Astroboy was and moving back around to the other side of the map. He does have the advantage now to do a lot of damage on this mega health. Nice rail from Astroboy, going to force him away once again.
Whoa, Spart1e missing the jump across, so he's going to need to find some of the health. Unfortunately, lower health bubble spawns for him. Spart1e still wants to escape. He knows he's outstacked quite considerably. He goes in for a punch, but Astroboy is going to counter that with his own Berserk. Going to quickly waddle over to the heavy. That's what it looks like with Berserk.
That was a much better kill from Astroboy. Playing it nice and patiently, just chipping Spart1e away and forcing him, manipulating him around the map away from the big item.
Whoa.
Nice rockets from such a distance.
Still trying to fight that. He almost walks into the next one. It's going to force out the Ghost Walk. Both players tremendously low. We're still seeing amazing rails from Astroboy, but again, Spart1e keeping himself alive and removing that pressure with phenomenal rockets.
I have no idea how he did that much damage from his position.
Astroboy kind of trying to move across to the mega health. Definitely feel like Astroboy is playing a little stronger control-wise and even damage-wise on this round, even though Spart1e got the better start. Missing that shot. Astroboy had his back turned and everything. You would expect some free damage coming out then, but it wasn't to be.
Getting a little bit fortunate, obviously.
Solid rail. Would love to get one more, balance up the stacks, and maybe even put it in his own advantage. He's not even going to go for a trade. Yeah, he's spotted Astroboy, trying to find one angle, but he's just going to work on his natural stack.
Yes, he's at the point of the match now where he's afraid to make any move, so he has to just keep waiting it out until Astroboy makes a mistake. As you can see, Astroboy is controlling that top level. Perfect rocket, though.
That was massive, looking for a close range Berserk. No, Astroboy does not pop it. And I think Spart1e, as soon as he got close range, he knew if our shot came out and the Berserk, he was just going to explode into pieces. So very sensible to use the Ghost Walk like that. He's going to find one rail, but Astroboy is going to continue putting pressure on. I love that little just detour he did there to remove the predictability. Good pressure from Astroboy. Only 40 health left. If he can land the shot just before Mega's taken, that would have been the tying round.
It's like Trails are just missing, that would have been it.
He's hitting pretty much every other rail, but not the one that was so important then.
Oh no, once again, Spart1e's going to get away.
He does hit one, but that was his last rail. He hasn't got any more. I'm not 100% sure if he recognized that.
Ghostwalk is up as well. He could use it aggressively if he wants to. Playing it safe.
Shot. Unreal that astroboy actually risked it across. He has got good kind of jagged movement. He doesn't kind of just keep strafing continuously to make those angles easy to read. Spart1e has missed a couple of shots because of that. Nice pressure on heavy from Spart1e. As we are in sudden death, it is going to be the next frag that will decide the winner. If Spart1e gets the kill, he will take map 1. If astroboy gets the frag, then it is going to be after one last round to decide the victor on Blood Covenant.
Spart1e's got good control now with the Ghost World Cup. He is in a very good position. He can go as aggressive as he wants, and he's using it here.
Uh-oh, this is bad news for astroboy. Pressure comes out with a rocket. astroboy's weak, but he's going to be able to escape. Again, having to respect that berserk. One more rocket, trying to land it. The punches arrive, but it is going to be Spart1e who takes it down. Down in the home crowd, he is going to be able to get himself one more edge to push himself into top 8.
That was an impressive set of rounds by Spart1e. We saw some awesome shots. Mechanical skill is on point, and he was just playing nice and calculated. We see no overcommittals throughout, really. He forced astroboy to take the initiative and just punished him when he did.
Absolutely. Nice to see as well. We got 2 Swedes as well in the playoff. Here in a Swedish event.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's going to be so impressive if Spart1e goes continuously further. Every step he makes right now is just absolute gold, considering he didn't even qualify originally.
I think he deserves to. It's been a long time since he's had a major victory, obviously getting very, very close at ESWC in particular. So he's one that deserves it, and he's got all the foundations there. I just think there's something missing that makes him go from an amazing player to a special player.
Yeah.
But he has the capability to be anyone at any one time when he's on form. As you see, some of those shots were ridiculous. Some of the best we've seen in the tournament in terms of the consistency of his aim. And so as long as he continues that, I definitely can see him going for a couple of stages in this tournament at least.
I was chatting with Ince recently, and aside from ESWC, the last finals he was at QuakeCon 2008.
Exactly.
I believe it was the first Quake Live QuakeCon.
He's one of these players that goes in as a fan favorite, and many people say he's one of the people that could do some upsets, and he shows it in the groups, as you said. Like, he has that capability to really just switch it on and just take games away from you. But when it really matters, he doesn't always bring the A game. So.
And just as a character in the community, I think you say he's one of the fan favorites. He's just such a likable person. He's always, always seems to be fun-loving.
Yeah.
Out talking to everybody. The guy is just generally really, really positive to be around. I would. Honestly, I hope that he pops off at some point throughout the tournament and that he gets to a stage where it works. I'd love to see Spart1e be able to do that. Obviously, want to give some love to astroboy, though. He did have a very strong round in that, and we could see that his rail is actually on fire. But when it mattered most, he couldn't quite land the shots to close out the rounds when needed.
Spart1e, the way Spart1e was playing just limited the aggression that astroboy could put out, and that puts him uncomfortable. You could see he does it well. He plays a good defensive game, but it's uncomfortable for him. He was never able to get into positions to deal damage to Spart1e when Spart1e was taking the items, and that gave relatively free reign of the map, which ensured that Spart1e was generally always confident. And when he wasn't, he played I want to say Kilson-esque, but particularly with the Knicks, he just hid, utilized the time bubbles more than the items themselves, and did little pot shots to astroboy. And I think throughout, the only time astroboy really was able to assert himself is when he hit a ridiculous chain of rails. And that's all credit to Spart1e for playing in a way that limited the way an astroboy could actually take the initiative and be aggressive onto Spart1e.
Well, this is a great map for astroboy to get himself back in this series as we are moving into Blood Run. The game is beginning now. Just a minute, gaming astroboy versus Spart1e, and we are checking out the Australian first. He's going to be on Doomslayer. Both players are using exact same lineups.
What do you think of the Tribot? Do you like it?
I think it's kind of cool, but I know there's some changes incoming to it.
Did you miss the grenade launcher?
That's a really tricky question, because in Clan Arena it was kind of horrifically annoying, but I felt like it had its place. Although at the moment, I don't think I'm like pressing the grenade launcher bind, expecting it to be there or anything. Astroboy's landing some good shots at the moment.
I'm a grenade launcher fanboy.
Really?
Yeah. I used to think it was an awesome weapon. I think all those frag movies.
It's crazy because you were so bad with it. So
I was terrible with most weapons.
So like you were an absolute. I won't say the word, but your aim.
Thanks, Matt.
I remember duels where you were hitting over 90% rail against me. Now that either says something horrific about me. Maybe I should just stop standing still.
Oh, nostalgia.
Yeah. And I tell people every time, but if I ever beat you, you wouldn't talk to me for 2 months.
Well, yeah, it's just bullshit, really.
Well, guys, back into this one at the moment is actually astroboy who's putting the pressure onto Spart1e. And he's going to try and find his way back into some control. But
nice.
That's a brilliant rocket. And all of a sudden, astroboy's got nothing to work with. Although he's got items on his side of the map, there's just an amount of time until they reappear. So that's going to allow Spart1e to move in and take control.
Perfect combo by Spart1e, but the problem is now, as you can see, astroboy is already at a decent fighting stack.
No rails! You've got no rails!
Doesn't matter, he's got fists.
One more punch. Is it going for another one? Spart1e's running away. He can't hit the rail, and astroboy's going to chase him down. I could have sworn that berserk lasted for a quarter of an hour. But the Australian gets himself first blood. That's happy days for him, but he's going to have to follow up with something nice now.
Oh, that is some painful. He's trapped here. Spart1e could have switched to rail, but decides to stick with the lightning gun, not realizing that there was just a bit more health remaining for astroboy.
Spart1e was playing with fire just then. He was waiting with 4 seconds to go till Mega. He's going to have to use the Ghost Walk to escape. Gets himself onto 100 collective health and armor, which will give him a small amount of peace of mind.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect Spart1e to really try and make any moves without having his Ghost Walk up because of this.
This is should be a chase. Good little decision
nice.
from Spart1e to go around the corner, but unfortunately he walks into the follow-up shot, and that's going to be another step forward. We were talking, oh, hold on a second, it's going to be another. He gets the full combo,
okay.
Rocket to punch, and that is the perfect recipe to have imploding Anarchies.
And we see Spart1e a little bit, I don't know, unstable in the first round, particularly in that last frag. It was just a simple mistake. It was an unnecessary move to go down into the corridor. He knew the Mega was up. Going into a corridor against a Doom with an ability up is just almost certain death, particularly when you're such a squishy champion as the Anarchy, because that just one punch man will just decimate you.
Do you think it would be fair to expect this to be, a relatively convincing map for astroboy, given what we were talking about Spart1e and Blood Run before?
I definitely can see astroboy taking this, but no, I don't think the way in which Spart1e is playing is not going to be comprehensive by any means.
Okay.
It could be a 3-0, but Spart1e is going to make every single, well, should make every single frag count.
Okay, well, let's have a look now, because we're going to have another punch-up between the two of them. And
How did that
astroboy. Wow. He managed to get the leap going very well. We've got one rail over here. Spart1e not able to follow up with another, looking for the wall jump shots. But Spart1e is on a critical amount of health, which is kind of constant when you're Nyx.
It's like that. Is it Darshi from Street Fighter with the stretchy arms?
It kind of is to a point. You lock on and leap towards the opponent. It's definitely a strong ability in the game at the moment, which is why we're seeing Doomslayer used so much in the current duel system.
Yeah, just as a champion is just so all-round in terms of the qualities that it brings to the game.
I think the double jump is what the amount of mobility that you have. A lot of champions, they might need to use a rocket jump of some sort to get themselves just from the tri-bolt to the red armor. Of course, Nyx can go up the wall, and Doomslayer just double jump.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like such a simple thing, but particularly in fight, where obviously the most telling factors in these current duels, where you have that ability just to dodge rockets when you see them coming and really offset tracking in rails. It actually is a huge deal.
Well, Spart1e looking for one more, but he couldn't quite connect with that. We've got Mega coming up. He's just going to get the nail gun, get the one more punch. Can he land a rocket?
Oh.
He just about finds the splash damage. Ties up the frags here in round 2.
Close, but
very close.
astroboy was that was a last chance saloon using the ability, and sometimes it can work if you do manage to get 2 to 3 punches off. It's just obviously an immense amount of damage.
Here comes the heavy. astroboy takes it. I don't think that was much rocket damage. Yeah, it was just one, but he's going to walk directly into more Spart1e rockets. He's going to try and get himself the armor. Only 16 health remaining for the Swede.
We could see the astroboy being a lot more comfortable now with the Anarchy. Favorite champion, utilize its speed extremely effectively. Able to get into Spart1e's face, particularly when he knows the ghost will up, and Spart1e didn't have time to react.
That was perfect. So much speed from astroboy, and the perfect shot to land on top of that. Just checking the teleporter exit, trying to have a quick listen to see where on earth did he just go. It's just hit him down in the blood pool. He's got no health to heal, but he's just being very careful. Gonna try and escape. What? Spart1e playing with some intense angles. But at the moment, it's definitely the Australian who's looking better. There's just under 2 minutes where Spart1e needs to get himself a frag. Otherwise, the end of time will cost him. Brilliant little trap from astroboy. Spart1e just not expecting that whatsoever. And he's looking for that one more round.
Perfect.
That's into the tiebreaker.
Recognizing Spart1e still didn't have the rocket launcher and a very, very simple but effective trap. Look at this punch.
Punch was coming, and he was flying at him for one more. I think he might have landed that, but there was just so much health on Spart1e that survival wasn't too bad.
It is slightly mental, though. I mean, when you go into a game knowing I haven't won a single map on Blood Run before this tournament, it just plays with your mind because you go in with zero confidence and you're always questioning your ability and your movements and your strategy on that map, and getting into your own head is the worst thing that can happen in any sport, let alone duel.
Yeah, Spart1e's just going to be relieved that he won the first, though, so that he won't feel as much pressure moving into a tiebreaker if astroboy continues to perform this way. But, you know, again, if astroboy is getting a 3-0, that's going to make him feel real good moving to the last map. That's going to give him, I mean, if that momentum factor is there, I mean, that would be a key component.
But just those last two simple moves in placing a rocket onto the heavy armor, yes, it didn't hit, and then dropping for rails on the Mega, shows the nature of comfort that astroboy has on this map compared to the renewed Blood Covenant, in that he's consistently finding those angles and those positions to pressure Spart1e on major items. That was something we didn't see in the last map, and it's one of the key reasons why he's so much more in this game and winning this game compared to the previous.
Oh, that LG from astroboy, that is hurting an enormous amount. We've got the Mega health going to be taken, and no punishment actually from astroboy, but with 75 health, you can't expect a great deal.
Yeah, but you can make particularly with the Doom, you have a sufficient stack with just maintaining your starting stack to put up a challenge against virtually anything. Good rails coming out. He's one more and he could get the kill, but the heavy armor is just going to sustain him. astroboy doesn't even come back anyway.
Yeah, he's been actually living on the edge a little bit. His health and armor has never been up above, well, not been up above natural for a while. He's not even going to be able to get onto this Mega health, and he's looking to have to do more damage to keep managing that stack of Spart1e, because otherwise he can keep walking around the map however he pleases. And that rail from Spart1e...
This is the point where Spart1e would say it's time to go. He hit that rail, but as time goes on, his opportunity is now fading away.
Can you bait the heavy armor somehow? I wonder if there's... I don't think astroboy is going to look at it and think, hey, it's safe for me to pick up.
No, and astroboy is pretty competent and happy at the moment to play without it.
Full drop down, Spart1e patient, waiting for that initial rocket. But no additional damage done over that. Now they're starting to get a couple of good shots from astroboy, putting down the pressure he needs. But I think one more rail would really have helped him challenge for this next heavy armor.
Yeah, and if I was Spart1e, I think it would be time to put a little bit of pressure on and fall back to the heavy armor after you've had a bit of an engagement to get maximum use out of it, but that rail is a signal just to get in, try and get out.
Not able to hit that shot, that would have cleaned that one up. astroboy though, dropped down, lightning gun, surely going to take him out, but he switches over to rockets. Railgun would have got the kill. However, if he switches to rail and misses the shot, then it allows astroboy to come back in that fight. So you've always got to be careful with that weapon switch.
But with Spart1e picking up these items after those two engagements, the ideal time to do so, because astroboy is stuck with nothing, as you can see.
I just feel like almost all of the rotations of the map, every single Mega and Heavy, this round has gone to Spart1e, it feels.
Yeah, because Spart1e's been taking engagements outside the respawn time.
Oh,
now he's stuck. Someone's going down here.
Yeah, definitely. astroboy's got 40 health to go. He's landing some all right rockets, but Spart1e eventually clutches it with a rail. He completely ran out of lightning gun ammunition, and they decided, you know what, on this occasion, we're both Doomslayer, but we're not going to settle it UFC style.
And now it's, with 1 minute to go, Spart1e has that catch-22 of, do I take the initiative, or do I just play safe? And after that, it kind of made the decision for him. Now he's forced off the map, even though astroboy doesn't really have much weaponry. Spart1e's opportunity now is probably to try and camp this rocket launcher, because with a minute to go, he needs to get it in order to try and frag Spart1e.
Here astroboy comes. That's one good rocket. The follow-up's decent as well, and he's going to be able to pick up his the mega health on the way out. That worked out well for him. He's even going to find another punch, the rocket to follow up, and astroboy just walks into absolute fury.
It's a rather unusual movement pattern, so I do understand why he got caught off guard.
I think astroboy, even though he had the ghost walk up there, I think it was, I've got to do some damage. I've got to do something crazy. There's so little time left on the round, so you can forgive him for looking a little desperate then. But that is going to be a round that goes to Spart1e, so he's not going to allow it to be a clean sweep on Blood Run. So you were right, ZSX. There's going to be some closeness to it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, the last round was great play for both of them. Spart1e suffocating the map, doing sufficient damage to keep astroboy away from the major items. Nice trap from astroboy, but will it pay off? He didn't switch in time to hit a rail, and Spart1e actually comes out much better in that engagement.
Not to linger too much on the last round, but is there anything astroboy could have done better aside from just hit more shots?
It's difficult to say. Hitting more shots is always pretty much the key. He was never super low, so he could have just put a little bit more pressure on the items' timings, but he could get a kill here.
Berserk comes out and Spart1e's like, well, I will match the speed that you're using and you're not going to be able to get closer to me. And of course, you can't shoot when you've got Berserk, so good luck with that.
It does mean they're both on cooldown for an equivalent amount of time.
That was a good initial rocket from Spart1e, but astroboy also landing some immense shots, and Spart1e seemed to just get stuck on that corner, just slightly immobilized, and you can't really get quite this sort of the height that you look for with double jumps there. Oh, the double jump actually discouraging him for a second, and Spart1e's going to have to leave. The bounce pad will be heard, so I think that astroboy's going to know exactly where he is. Keeps jumping over all that damage, dodging in, but he cannot run away from the punch. One more frag needed for astroboy, and he can send us to a tiebreaker. And just running with pummel, it sometimes can cure things, but Spart1e is going to say goodbye to Blood Run, and astroboy, he gets himself something going. You see this sigh of relief there from him. Yes, this is a step closer towards what I'm looking for.
And after such a previously tense and close round, Spart1e just gets kind of walked over to finish it off. And I mean, that's not a surprise. Astroboy won that, but
do you think he was just like, let's just, I don't want to spend all my energy on Blood Run. Let's just get it over with and go to the next one? Because
not at all. I mean, there's no way, as a player, particularly at this stage of the tournament, you can do that. I don't know someone like Spart1e, that's not the case. It was just astroboy picking it up. After that first initial frag, he was able just to keep and sustain the pressure. He forced the Ghost Walker out of the Nyx very early, and then was able to follow through, knowing Spart1e was trapped in that nail gun room, and then backing off and forcing the spawn, knew exactly where Spart1e was. And it's just a little bit sloppy, Spart1e coming out there, not realizing where astroboy was, not waiting for any type of sound cues. So just basically good play.
I think part of it is also just being more confident in his aggression. We see a lot of times, I think Tox is actually one of the perfect examples. When he's not got the confidence to go and aggressive with his god tier aim, he actually falters quite a lot because his passive play is nowhere near as strong. And I'm not saying that astroboy is clearly a very good aimer, but he's not Tox level, but he needs that confidence so that he can instigate the fights a bit more when he has control, rather than just sitting and waiting all the time.
It's one of the most difficult skills to master in duel, is how to play on the back foot, because, and this is where we always talk about the difference between passive and defensive. Like, passive is where you're literally just camping and hiding and trying to keep away and maintaining your own stack, whereas defensive is where you're taking positions where you can deal damage but safely, and even though you're not directly challenging for the items, you're doing enough to keep your opponent from pressuring you. And if you just go onto the passive mode, you leave yourself exceptionally vulnerable and open, as you're essentially waiting for your opponent to make a mistake. And when that happens, you're on such the back foot that you're almost leaving on your kind of tournament lifeline in the hands of fate. And that's where you need to find a fine balance, being able to commit to items, deal damage to items. Because if you do that, in this current game, if you hit a good first rocket, there's no reason why you can't get a frag out of almost nothing. Or at the very least, you do enough damage to offset the entire pickup of that major item, which then gives you an initiative to take a better position next time. And so it is very difficult, particularly when your opponent's playing well and they're hitting their shots as well. But you have to try and find that balance to make sure you have a presence on the map without actually over-committing. So that's what separates the kind of guys who wins the tournaments from everyone else. But it's definitely something people need to think about mastering anyway.
Yeah, I think when you have got an advantage in a map as well, you kind of feel, oh, I've only got one more round, let's play it safe so that I can get this one steady and nice. And then that's actually the wrong way to look at it sometimes.
It's something that's definitely unique about the round format, in that obviously in the old kind of time limit, you had a pattern of play from start to finish, but now you have to look at every round as like, if I make a mistake here, I've only got 2 more champions left, then the round's over. It's not like you have a certain, like the final 2 minutes of a previous duel, you still had time to pick it up. You could throw away 5 more frags, and if it was like an error wall, you could bring it back even still. But now, like one slip up, and it's so heavy. It gives
you too much time to get in your own head. Yeah, it gives you so much time to actually completely destroy your own mind.
Yeah, there's a lot more
you put the wrong
internal mind games, and every decision you make is much top-heavy in risk, that you have to play the safer option a lot of the time, and that's why it lends itself to slightly more of a stalemate. But even still, there are risks that have to be made in order to win duels.
Yeah. Well, we're going to be moving into Corrupted Keep next. We saw that Nyx, Anarchy, and Doomslayer were picked by both of the players. Still feeling Spart1e?
You like
I've never seen you in such pain before.
I'm still feeling Spart1e, but this is a map where astroboy style would definitely be easier to play with. And if there's going to be an upset, it's going to be now. I'm still banking Spart1e though.
Right. I think I am as well, just on balance, but that's the noise, guys. It is going to be Spart1e versus Just a Minute Gaming astroboy. They're going to decide their series to see who manages to go into top 8. Let's get this going. On board with astroboy at the moment, who's got himself the heavy armor. He's looking for a weapon and is going to have to fade away from all possibilities of picking up the rocket launcher.
Yeah, but if you don't get the rocket spawn on this map, you have to play extremely careful, and Spart1e's trapped in here. Could deal an immense amount of damage.
Lightning gun, very good choice from Spart1e. Try to push him back a bit. astroboy being patient though.
That's what you need to do. Spart1e's just going to control this mid-ground. What?
He gets the combo going. He's just waiting there for Spart1e to just move around the map and do something. And again, that's the power of Doom at the moment, and you just cannot go near the champion.
Blasphemy. Spart1e had full control, ideal positioning, and just boom.
Yeah.
Insta-dead.
That's it, and I think that's what astroboy was hoping for, just walking. Anarchy is so vulnerable to Doom if you're making a play like that. Yeah. However, Spart1e wasn't thinking, oh, he's going to be sat there for 10-15 seconds. I mean, that's not the thing you guess for. You expect that just moving around the map and want to kind of try and pick up some kind of resource. Although all astroboy would have been thinking about is, how do I get to the rocket launcher? And it's probably not going to be yet.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just one of those things in that, yes, Spart1e had complete weapon advantage. Obviously, his stack's never going to be that big, even though he had the more items. He pushes in here with the lightning gun. Spart1e's great rockets and able to get out, though. But as you say, you just have to be aware that that's a thing, and that if you don't know where he is, you just don't run around the corner.
Yeah. Oh, the punch comes out again. astroboy, he's knocking out all the champions at the moment. That's going to be the mega health. We got armor spawning in a second. astroboy still rocking all the weapons he needs. That's Spart1e with some armor. Oh, a little bit of that overstack going. Can he keep this pressure going? Look at this, the Ghost Walk. You can trigger that. It's good news for him. There it is.
He did do a nice light amount of damage. Spart1e just a bit late on the Ghost Walk, meaning he's definitely under pressure, and also needs to pick up the time shards as well. So that could be a signal for astroboy to pressure around this heavy side after the mega health.
Just about makes it, and he is going to get away as soon as he can from that. 10 seconds until his Ghost Walk is reactivated. I think he finds one of the time shards.
Probably the only weakness of Doom we see there is the lack of speed, and that allows Spart1e just a second of opportunity to get on that heavy armor and uses it perfectly. Ghost Walk is also back up, meaning he's quite happy to stick around, and that rocket, Spart1e know how much damage he's done?
He's just not going to be able to land it. The Mega was spawning, and because Ghostwalk was used, I think he felt that he could reinitiate fast enough. And theoretically, with Nyx, you actually move a lot faster than Doomslayer. Even when Berserk is on, you can get about 700 UPS of your strafing. You can get that very quickly, maybe in 1.5 jumps. So if you're able to move like that, and you can recognize the Berserk fast, you can do very, very well to avoid it. But easier said than done, more often than not.
That was a nice little double jump the previous engagement, meaning not only did he avoid an air rocket, but he also got like an extra second worth of few ticks of lightning gun. All adds up. Well, he's definitely going to have to pop up the Ghostwalk here, or he will go down.
He really waits till the last moment to do it. He is actually going to hang around for a second, and it proved to be a bit too dangerous. Astroboy with round 1.
Greedy boy. Greedy boy.
You see that he's really holding his finger late on the trigger with Ghostwalk, but
this is the first kill.
This hurt a lot. And then the punch came in straight after. But actually, I was looking at the stack there, and there was no overstack at all for Spart1e. I think he had taken some of the previous items, but your health and armor in overstack trickles down rapidly.
Yeah. It was, and he also took a little bit of damage previously from the couple of shotguns, etc. So just enough to die.
Whoa, that lightning gun from Astroboy. Spart1e is going to have to be very careful. He's got the LG himself, and Astroboy's stack is less than Spart1e's. That's such an awkward angle to hit lightning gun if you are Spart1e.
And Spart1e doesn't have a rocket as well, so he's also trapped and has to pop the Berserk to get out of there. And runs the Astroboy.
I mean, his combos have been on point with Doomslayer. Spart1e, he's going in the wrong fights at the moment, and he's putting himself at a massive disadvantage. He might go down again. Ghostwalk's going to come out. I don't know if he can re-aggress. That's a definite no there. And Astroboy is going to deny 3 of those time shards. There'll be 3 more on the other side of the map that Spart1e can take, but he's going to have to survive for a little bit. Otherwise, he could see himself falling in this round way too quickly.
Still needs to get this weapon, though. Astroboy's done a great job of cutting it off, and he's founding it here without the Ghostwalk up. But that nail gun does such an incredible amount of damage. Astroboy has to be careful, although Spart1e's on 1 health.
If he had the machine gun out straight away instead of the lightning gun that was out of range, he would have got the, gotten the kill. Spart1e comes in, Berserk on the Ghostwalker's time just right. Astroboy's weak. This could be a kill for Spart1e.
He knows exactly where he's going to be going. Spart1e can chase.
He's got to close the gap before he takes loads of items. There's so many health bubbles on the side of the map, but the rocket is spot on. Spart1e is in this.
Spart1e's a matador.
And he can get himself over to the heavy as well. So this is a great chance for him to do something and continue the control. We have got the injection gone. Shotgun, though, is flawless. And Spart1e is a frag away from tying up the rounds.
Nice job pressuring off the spawn. Something Spart1e's done notoriously good throughout every single Quake. Recognizing the initiative of where his opponent spawns and just picking up the pace for that good 30 seconds or so. And if you don't get the kill, then you back off. Like now, he knows Astroboy's sets, there's no need to go in super aggressive.
Oh, Astroboy is under pressure. His LG actually looks good, but Spart1e's weapon switch could not read that at all. I think he was waiting for the animation of a rocket or something to see, all right, now I'm going to Ghostwalk, and he just did not give him a chance.
Yeah, I didn't even realize the switch came out.
And I was actually very worried for Spart1e because at the beginning, when he's keep going down to this Doomslayer, I was thinking, right, this is becoming a problem. And almost I'm 2-0 down in the tiebreaker of an elimination match problem. And I don't know how well, okay, I say there's been a lot of comebacks from Spart1e's in maps previously, but there's only so many times you can do that.
Astroboy's Doomslayer on this map has been very, very strong. He's one of the players that utilizes that ability to almost maximal effectiveness. He's a punching machine.
That's definitely true. Astroboy looking for some LG damage. He keeps using that at a bit too far away distance. And Mega snatched by Spart1e. And he's going to possibly look at controlling the heavy. But Astroboy, he's also looking to get a piece of the pie. He's going to drop down. In fact, both of them going in for punches, but this time Spart1e is going to be able to get his revenge. And Astroboy's going to continue. Is there going to be one more punch? He's forced to use the injection.
Oh no, he's slightly trapped here. Can he get away through that doorway? But that's the time to take the fight.
Those shotgun switches. I mean, Spart1e has been exemplary with all of his weapon choices at the moment. And, you know, we often see him from having the amazing railgun, and that's something that he really excels at. But without that, he's being an absolute artist. On the up. He's gonna have to say goodbye to it. I can't find the damage off the spawn, and the chase from astroboy is brilliant. He finally gets himself something in, gets rid of the Doomslayer.
And he also didn't use the Ghost Walk, which means there's an opportunity now for him to get the kill on Spart1e, because obviously if they both pop it, then they can see each other.
We are getting quite fast rounds at the moment on Corrupted Keep, so time is not going to be a factor yet, but using the Ghost Walk, and astroboy decided actually that he wants to maintain control rather than pressure with Ghost Walk himself.
He did use it afterwards. I think he might have presumed Spart1e was going for that Mega anyway. Little bit of a mistake.
Spart1e's really got to hold on for another 10 seconds, and there's such pressure coming from the lightning gun. That's a brilliant push from astroboy, and he has tied up the champion score here.
As well.
Oh my god, but he's so weak. Astroboy's suicide. There's a mutual frag. That went to Spart1e.
Yeah.
Right?
No, Astroboy had another champion left. Astroboy had an Anarchy left, right?
Astroboy was on his last.
Are you sure?
We're going to find out in a second. I'm pretty sure there was. I'm pretty sure I'm right. We got.
Astroboy got the round.
Astroboy got the round. Okay, my bad. Hey, we're professionals. ZSX.
I am.
Yeah. So this is bad news for Spart1e, because he looked like he was in such a lead in that round before, right at the beginning, and Astroboy comes out with all guns blazing. Spart1e looking for a little bit of trap behind his back.
Nice rockets.
The follow-up, though, he's got to be careful of the punch. Oh! Spart1e, he somehow gets the dodge.
Ducking and weaving, somehow gets the head punch.
It's quite difficult to sort of misdirect the punch. He's going to go out with the shotgun. Why? The full shot, the upgraded shotgun was taken, and astroboy was really hoping you could do so much damage with that weapon.
I mean, it was...
That's getting overexcited there, I think, and Spart1e can't afford to make these mistakes anymore. Astroboy, though, he's pushing very hard.
It was one of those situations where it was the only choice for astroboy to survive. But it was just as risky for Spart1e to go through.
We're not getting bad damage at all from Spart1e. He's being very aggressive at the moment. The armor's up. He's going to go for it. The pummel. He's going to get it back in his face, though. Spart1e leading this round.
Crazy Aussie.
He's going to hit a rocket. He might be able to follow this up. There is still a Ghost Walk available.
Ghost Walks. But he doesn't want to pop it because he knows that astroboy will still be able to follow him.
Oh, 6 health left for astroboy. It's a game of chicken, though, with the Ghost Walk. To follow up, there is splash damage. Astroboy, you know you have got that resource available to you, but he's going to be able to deny the mega health. This is not over this round, and we have got the heavy up in just a second.
I don't know what's going on anymore, boys. It's caught Spart1e here. Oh, dear.
Spart1e gets a little bit of damage, though, before he pops it, and he's managed to keep a track on where astroboy's going.
Yeah, but Spart1e was too weak. He just had to back off. And astroboy, now the game resets slightly.
There's about 4 seconds difference between when each player gets their Ghost Walk back. Astroboy's going to get it first in just under 10 seconds.
Slight mistiming on the mega health. He could have done a lot of damage because he did have the high ground. Even still, Spart1e forfeits the heavy.
He's going to get the initial damage. Rockets,
astroboy's he's got no rockets left.
And he's got the Ghost Walk up if he wants it, but he doesn't want to use it just yet. This is great pressure from him. Spart1e's so weak. He's looking for one more. He hits it on the way out. Whoa. He manages to just land it. He was so stubborn about not use it. He hit the splash off the wall. There's like just as he was passing the pillar.
Big bull Spart1e.
Well, this is actually, I say it so many times, but this is where the
dodge.
This is where the duel begins now. We're in the tie-breaking map. We're in the tie-breaking round. The winner of this round is going for top 8. Precisely. Spart1e's got himself rockets early on, and he's also, well, I think both players will have it quickly.
Spart1e is very trapped here, but he does manage to sneak away relatively unscathed and takes the safest route. You can see how much this means. Both players playing a lot more passive from the previous round.
I really feel like at this stage, you can throw mechanics out the window almost. You can throw everything. It's who is sort of more mentally, who's got like more mental fortitude to withstand this level of pressure.
They both got everything they need to fight now, so even kills.
Oh, he just pulls away the crosshair. He had a shot lined up there, but Spart1e all of a sudden gets a good amount of damage. And there's a bit of time between the items, so Spart1e can pressure the mega health, but that lightning gun damage that he gave up, that also hurts. I'm still worried for astroboy because he's got bad position for items.
Yep. But I think because of the split, it's safe to take them. Sorry, just take the heavy rather.
Yeah, there's no pressure outside. Spart1e didn't take the Mega immediately, so he couldn't even get in position for damage.
Once again, astroboy is out of rockets. Obviously, Spart1e doesn't know that. Oh no, Spart1e completely missing up his tracking.
Well, he's going to run away. He doesn't want to be a part of that fight anymore. He's going to look for the health bubbles instead, so he's decided not to use that aggressively. He almost could get a punch. Astroboy didn't have much health.
He's got no lightning gun, no rocket. He just picks up the ammo for the rockets off the spawn over there.
Of course, this is one of the slowest to keep rounds that we're going to see now because of what's on the line. You can see it is so close. There's not much splitting these players. They're playing at a very, very high level at the moment.
Nice chip damage, really nice chip damage. Puts him right back in the advantage position now. Going to push into Mega. Spart1e drops him into trouble.
Oh, the Berserk came out. There's a bit of pre-damage that came from astroboy, it looked as if. But that is going to be heavy taken by Spart1e. I think he took both of the items then. Astroboy was just a bit late. This is really bad news for the Australian for the moment. He's kind of lucky that there's not a whole lot of LG ammo. Good rocket. Going to go return fire with the lightning gun. It is Spart1e who's going to take frag number 1.
Spart1e recognizing the pressure that astroboy was under, having got none of the major items, and then was out of position and really taking the initiative.
Oh, he's going to find a great rocket.
drop.
Astroboy, he can't move whatsoever. That first rocket sends him into the air. When he lands again, he's got a circle jump once more to pick up that speed, and he's just not able to do that.
Doesn't matter if you're an Anarchy. If you get popped into the air, it's game over.
You know,
last champion. He has to do it all on the Nyx.
Yeah. Oh, there's so much pressure at the moment. And Spart1e, he goes down all of a sudden. I think he felt that he had a bit more time, but Astroboy, all of a sudden, he just hit the sweet spot with the lightning gun, and it felt like 100%.
Nyx on Nyx. Both have Ghost Walk.
Whoa, the rockets, they're from Spart1e. Only 13 health remaining from Astroboy, and he's got balls of steel to not just go straight into Ghost Walk.
He is an Australian.
That's going to be heavy also for Spart1e. He's had, say, slightly better item control in this round.
Slightly. But they're both happy to trade now. They know the scale of it. Spart1e's in a little bit of...
Whoa.
Oh no!
That follow-up rocket. Spart1e, though, he still doesn't want to use the Ghost Walk. I cannot believe he hasn't used it. Finally, he pops it. And this time, Astroboy, he wants to chase with this. But the Mega, it was taken. Astroboy is forced through the teleporter. Shotgun blast doesn't land.
He has to back off.
The lightning gun is imminent. He's trying to land a glory rocket over here, but he can't hit it. Careful of the teleporter. Astroboy, is he going to be able to get out of it? How? He cannot survive.
Sneaky Swede.
It's still down to the last champion, guys.
What's going on?
There we go. We're back into game. We've got one champion each, and they're both typically low on resources.
He's got the initiative here. Ghost walks up in 10.
My heart is pounding a little too rapidly to be comfortable with at the moment.
Because you're unfit.
That's not true. No time to discuss that. We'll argue about that later. Astroboy has been getting some all-right chip damage at the moment. Good rocket, but Spart1e returns fire equally.
20 seconds left. Spart1e's definitely going to be playing for this sudden death, even though it doesn't really change much. It just feels more relief, and he goes up the jump pad. It's very dangerous.
But he goes into Ghost Walk. Astroboy maybe could have found a bit of extra damage.
Oh,
he's going to get the rocket. Astroboy makes it, and he is absolutely psyched about that. That went down to the wire.
And that was, serious composure to stay in that game, going down to his last champion. And as soon as he smelt blood, he picked the pace up, and Spart1e did not know what to do, unfortunately.
Crazy. Spart1e has had such an adventure through this DreamHack, but